Hey guys, welcome to the Coffee and Coaching Podcast. I am Coach Kamara.
I'm Coach Jack G. We hope you enjoy today's episode. We hope you take a lot of value away from it, and we might even make you laugh a little bit.
We started this podcast to help empower and inspire you to take control and create the life that you want to lead.
But remember, everything we say is our opinion. We're not medical professionals. So if we talk about anything that you want to implement into your life, please go and speak to your doctor first.
If you enjoy the episode and you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, share it with anyone that you think might take value from it. And if you can share it on your social media, it would be massively, massively appreciated.
That's enough of that. Let's get into today's episode.
Lucy, what's happening?
Hello, how are we?
Who are you? Tell everyone.
So, I am Lucy Brabin, an online coach, PT, and now copywriter. A woman of many trades. Oh, and yoga teacher. I've got a lot of strings to the bow. But yeah, so I've been doing that for like 4 years with the coaching, as you well know. You were there at the start of the career, weren't you?
Yes.
Both of you.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever walked into that gym that we don't name. By the way, you're not allowed to say the name of that
Yeah,
gym.
you're not allowed to name the gym. The gym that we shall not name.
And I remember walking in and you were sat on the leg extension on your laptop, working away, and I was like, and you just didn't lift your head up, and I was just in this gym and it was empty, and you were the only person there. You just didn't lift your head up, and I
To
was
be
like,
fair though, it's because
"Excuse me?"
people used to just come in.
yeah, I was
And
like,
I'd be
excuse me,
Yeah.
is Connor here? Oh fuck, I said his name. It's alright.
We have to bleep them out.
No, it's alright. It's fine. Yeah. And then, so you're the first ever person that I've seen in that gym.
I didn't know that. I probably didn't remember it because I was probably so sleep deprived and, and delirious.
Burnt out.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff probably happened in that gym that none of us remember because it's just a blur.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was a blur, wasn't it, to be fair?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's where the main bulk of the career starts out, wasn't it? PT, went to uni, did an English degree at the same time, become an online coach, dabble in a little bit of PT still, and then decided to become a copywriter and yoga teacher. So yeah,
Why not?
yeah. Why hire people to do things for the business when you can just be the business?
Why outsource when you can just learn all of the things and do it all?
When you can just be so busy, yeah. Yeah.
Just
Hats of a
proper hate
professional.
having spare time.
Yeah. Now I'm wishing I kind of had some.
No, but I think me and Jack have been trying to tell you to meditate for years and years and years.
Yeah, this is
And
true.
then one day, you just went, "Hey, I'm doing a meditation course," and I was fucking buzzing. And now you've done the course. You're a yoga teacher, and you've delved into the spiritual realm.
Yes, 100%, yeah. Which I think a lot of people think is very airy-fairy, but can actually be applied to real life.
Yeah.
So I think it's helped me even as like an online coach and personal trainer and stuff like that. It's helped me even in that aspect of things, like being able to have like different perceptions on what people are going through or try and put myself in that position a little bit better. I feel like it's allowed me to do that in a more effective way.
Well, like have empathy with people.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think as coaches, I think you'll agree, you sometimes like we think we're normal, but we're not normal.
Yeah.
Like that's you know what I mean? We think that we're displaying
Do you
normal
guys think that you're
human-
normal?
No, but
Do you think you're normal? Like, were you not aware that you weren't?
Yeah, for a long time.
I've lived my life as me. I think it's normal.
Yeah, but for a long time, I thought that like the way we behave like is normal, and then like my old boss was like, "You do know you're not a normal person." He was like, "We're not normal people," and that was a very good point that he did make. We aren't normal people, and sometimes I think you can forget that you've been in the position of a client. And it's sometimes hard to put yourself back there, even if you do have moments that remind you of that time, if that makes any sense. Because the way we live our lives now, we've built up a stack of habits and stuff that are like easy for us to just go through as if like you're in a computer program, you know what I mean? Like we just do it, it runs in the background. Whereas these people are picking up these skills in order to be able to do that. And I think sometimes if you've been living life the way we do for a number of years, I think you forget how hard that is to grasp at the beginning of your own journey, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
100%. I agree. I think it's about, I mean, it's hard to be able to actually step into their shoes when we're in this position, but then also just having the logical understanding of, right, I remember how I felt. I can't quite feel it anymore,
Yeah.
but I remember what it was like at the start.
Yeah.
And just having that logical understanding allows you to just create the conditions of understanding and empathy, and just facilitating that environment for them to get to that place that we want them to be in at the end.
Yeah.
I think
Even if we can't fully step into it, because we know what it was like and we remembered it sort of.
Yeah, and you
Just being
remember
able
like
to
the
create them conditions.
uncomfortableness of
Well,
that.
Jack was talking about this the other week, weren't you, when we were talking about gym anxiety, and you obviously don't feel that anymore, but then
Yeah.
going into swimming pool,
yeah.
just fucking kettled your head.
On the flip side of that, though, like we sort of, I think we spoke about this with Ross, that if you are empathetic or you get good at displaying empathy, that you don't need to understand what they're going through. Like you don't need to have experienced what they're going through. Sorry,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So like I work with women. I've never been a woman,
Not
not that I know of anyway. And a lot
I feel
of
like you'd know.
a lot of their issues, I probably would have realised by now, wouldn't I? A lot of their issues I've never been through. Do you know what I mean? So that level of empathy, it's like I can empathise. I can try and figure out how you're feeling and ask you how you're feeling and learn that. But I don't know what you're feeling.
But you don't know
I
because
don't
you've
know.
never been
I don't
there,
know shit that feels like. You're having a really bad time, like having a really bad period. Like I don't know what that feels like. I have no idea. But you're telling me it's really shit. You're telling me you feel this. You're telling me you feel that. Okay, great. Let's take it from that and go from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But then you do get like obviously with you, like your clients are based almost around you. Would you not say like your avatar was kind of where you started?
Yeah.
Like and the journey you've been on is kind of what you try and.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying this to a lad that trained with yesterday. I don't know. I've told you definitely about the More Than Muscle program that I'm building it. I don't know if you've seen on my Instagram, Luce.
I've seen bits about it, yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
basically.
you've mentioned it, but you've not actually told
So
people
far,
what
it's just been like this philosophy. It's like, oh, the More Than Muscle philosophy, and it's just like more of a. It's not a thing yet.
like a catchphrase for now.
Yeah. It's like a philosophy. So now it's actually going to be a program. So it's something you can buy. It's on the website. Like you can watch it. It's a step-by-step guide on how to create like a fulfilled, inspired life. And it's not just about like meditation or blah. It's boss. I'm fucking buzzing. Like I'm halfway through recording it, and it's going to be sick, lad. But it's basically what I've gone through in my life, and I've put together like this system of how to not suffer anymore, how to stop being, how to finally reach your potential and wake up every day with inspiration and purpose and drive and actually be stepping towards your potential.
I think that's something, obviously as coaches, I think a lot of people want to help people step into their potential, obviously, because that's why we do what we do, or part and parcel of the reason of why what we do is what we do. But I love the way that you have kind of worded that, and also the way you're going about it, because I feel as though obviously we've been on the same meditation course, and I can see little elements of that coming through as well, which maybe you've always been into stuff like that, but now I feel like you kind of have delved a bit deeper and kind of like know yourself a little bit better, and it's kind of like we see suffering in so many different things, which sounds again something dead airy-fairy, but it is so true. Like we oftentimes I feel like we create our own suffering because we are continuously putting ourselves in positions that allow us to suffer. And it's like your program, for example, is going to help people obviously in the mental sense, but it's also going to help them like with the sufferings of being the way they are, like living the life that they are currently living, the one that they're not happy with, you know. And you get loads of people going, but like, you know, just if they're out of shape and stuff, like they're not suffering. Like, no, but some people are suffering, and that's why they're out of shape, and that's why they're depressed, and that's why they're anxious and stuff like that, because they are suffering in day-to-day life. So bringing together a program like that, I think is like, it's like pretty cool, because you don't see many men taking a stand and doing stuff like that, and offering like bits of meditation and bits of like spiritual stuff, because people go, oh, like I think men want to shy away from it, when really like there's a big movement across, especially like Liverpool City, like there's a big movement of like men getting involved in that and saying what they actually feel and what they think, and like not being afraid to cry and that kind of thing. And I think that that's like amazing, because hopefully that's going to be a bit more, you obviously predominantly train males, but like that's hopefully going to be a space for like males to kind of do that whilst developing their physique.
100%.
So I like the sound of that.
100%. You hit the nail on the head. But it's like, I don't
Hire
think...
me for your marketing.
Do you by any chance write copy now?
Selling myself real well, yeah.
If you're watching this, you need someone to write some copy for you.
English degree in that.
I've got the credentials, so it's all right.
But yeah, I don't think I've... I mean, obviously it helped a little bit, but I don't think I've found myself more. I think I've found the courage to start talking about this stuff.
I think it's
Because-
hard. It's hard
Yeah,
for men, especially like you, to come out and speak about those kind of things. Or even, I don't know, I feel like you don't see many big gym men talking about meditation, guys, do you?
No,
You know what I
no.
mean? Because people go, oh, like, it's just like sitting there. It's not sitting there. It's not just sitting there. It's not. So I think that, like, you being the example.
Do you know what though? It is. This is the other side of things. You get two types of people who resist meditation. You get the side of people who are like, it's just fucking sitting there. Why are you making a big thing out of it? Like, it's fucking stupid. And then you get the other side of, I can't switch my brain off. I can't just, I can't meditate. I can't just stop thinking. It's like,
That was me, by the
and
way.
then that side is like, it's just sitting there. Like
Yeah.
it is, without slapping big
going,
labels
yeah.
on it. You're just going to sit
And just
here
sit.
right now and do nothing. And see, when you think about something else, just go, don't want to think about that. I'm just going to sit back in this room and just do that for like 5 minutes. And they're like, but I can't though. I'm like, you probably definitely 100% can.
Mhm.
Like,
You
you
can.
definitely can.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are that used to like not sitting with themselves and their own thoughts, though, that
Yeah.
they find it to be a very uncomfortable experience, which I would say was me. Like the thought of sitting with myself and my own thoughts for like 10 minutes is just like,
This is the first. So I've got 4 pillars of the More Than Muscle program. The first one is courage, because you can't achieve any level of success in anything, in my opinion, anyway, without courage. Something
It's
is
true, everything's
gonna
risk-taking, innit?
something's gonna come along that's gonna be hard, and you're gonna have to face demons. You're gonna have to push through the boundaries. You're gonna be difficult. You're gonna have to have courage to do that. So that's like the very first thing that is in the program, and it's like the foundation of it all. But it starts with like I told. Did you just spill your coffee?
of
All
course
over
he did.
myself.
Wow.
All over myself. It's all right, mate. I was more worried that I got it on your couch, but I didn't. I was lucky enough to save it all. Yeah.
So I've told you this before, but it starts off with sitting with very low level physical discomfort. So doing a body scan and then noticing maybe like your back's a little bit stiff and just sitting with it and not trying to change it, not trying to fix, just sitting with that, just having the courage to just be rest in that discomfort. And then it escalates, and then the very end of the courage module is sit with your own thoughts that's this penultimate one actually. Sit with your own thoughts for 10 minutes.
And you know what? Like, it sounds so simple, but also it's a massive, big ask for a lot of people because they just don't
Very
do
hard.
it. And like, I remember when you were saying to me, you need to meditate, like it'll make your life better. Like, you need to. I was like, what's the point in sitting with sitting there for 10 minutes? Like, I'm busy. Number one. I was like, number two, I was like, what is that gonna achieve at all? But I think it makes you learn so much about yourself and like what's important to you, and even like the gratitude side of things, like makes you a lot more grateful for things. And people always like say, like my family always say to me, like, how does it make you more grateful? How does it do those things?
I
And
love
I'm
that
like,
impression.
I don't know. Don't ask me how it does those things. It just does. I'm like, it
I just am more grateful
Yeah.
because I'm not in my own head
so
all
much,
the time.
yeah.
Because like, I
And
mean,
you're not jumping to
mine
weird
and
shit.
your head were the same for a lot of the time.
I
weren't they?
would say
Very,
so,
like,
yeah.
overthinking, very anxious
Which is
and stuff.
probably why like we became very
Yeah.
close very quick, because it was the
Um,
same
Yeah,
thing.
it's the same stress.
Two
Two stressy heads just getting
same
along.
stress.
Well, I think
Um,
what it is, why it makes you more grateful, is it creates space between I and me.
I and me.
Which is a very confusing thing when you get into I and
Yeah,
me.
yeah, It's just I said it to Jack in a kettle his head a few weeks ago. But create like people know. No,
It didn't kettle me head. It was just I buzz off spiritual stuff because I'm just not into it. Like I get it. I've got nothing against it. Just doesn't.
Because for you, meditation's not really spiritual, is it? Like for you,
No.
it's more of an For Jack, I would
It's
say
almost
it's
like
more
a
of a
coping mechanism
an
to be able to
exercise.
function better as a human. Whereas for you guys, it's something different and
Yeah.
great.
Mm.
Love meditation. If that's what avenue you go down, it's very spiritual for you. Fantastic. Love it. But then when I then hear you talking about it, I'm just like, wow, that's mad. Like, tell me more. Like, I want to know like how
I feel
you
like
think
because it
that
comes
way.
from him as well. It's
Yeah.
a bit more like, right?
You and I. And then I go off in my own little head while he's talking and try and like picture it going on. Do you know what I mean? While he's like, there's him and then there's I and then there's I and then there's him and he's doing all these mad shit. Like when you were sitting watching the water and then writ that really deep email about.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was about. It was a heavy email that, I had to stop reading. I went to Rich, fucking tell me that,
Too much for me, that.
fucking heavy that,
Do you remember
Some
that email?
fucking
Jake?
DMT before I
That water story.
fucking DMT before I read the rest of this.
What? So do you think I don't look like the type of person who would be into meditation? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like I think a lot of people probably wouldn't expect it. And then obviously if you follow you on Instagram and stuff, like people see snippets of who you are because that's what we do on Instagram, show parts of ourselves. But like I don't think people would have expected it. No. But then because the only reason I expect it from you is just because I know you. Like a lot of these like people probably like listen to this or seeing you on Instagram for the first time or whatever it might be, don't know you and don't know your backstory or where you've kind of like come from. But I remember like when we used to work in the gym that shall not be named, like he used to disappear off for like 10 minutes to go and sit in the car and meditate. So like, and me and Jack were like, fucking weird.
He's going off for 5 minutes to meditate. I'm going off to nap.
Yeah, we were like, fucking strange him.
He's going off to the car to meditate
Weird.
for 5 minutes. I was like, mad, I'm going in the fucking coat room to have a nap.
Yeah, we're curled up on the desk in the back room. Like
That was a coping mechanism at that point.
Yeah.
That was just like grueling. Like just I needed to just have a minute.
Do you know, slightly off
topic, right?
Yeah.
I done an education video this week for my clients on time management. Yeah.
I seen that.
And I went through 3 things. And it was like time blocking, active procrastination, and what was the third one? Doesn't really matter because it's not to do with the story. But I was talking about it does. It was the one that is important. Efficiency. Getting efficient with your habits.
Yeah.
So like looking at your life and looking at where you aren't efficient. And I was saying about like when we worked, I nearly said the name, in the place that we don't name, just so that I could save like 3 minutes of my day. When I left for work in the morning, I would get my bowl and I would get the ingredients out for tea for when I got in that night and leave them on the side. And then when I was eating that, as I was cooking that, I would get my bowl and my coffee mug out and the coffee pod and everything for the next morning before I went to bed so that I could like shave off just a couple because the condiments didn't have to come from the cupboard to the table. They were just there. And I was like, wow, imagine not having that much time. Like that, it was a flashback to like,
I think
wow.
that did honestly help. I mean, obviously everybody can lose track with like time, obviously, like we all do it. Like it's not like, you learn how to be more efficient and then you're more efficient every single day. Like it's not like that. But I think working in that kind of environment kind of opened up the gateway for us to learn what time management was. So it was like, I used to eat my porridge in between my legs down the motorway.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I'd be like, there's no time when I get there. Like, this needs to be in now. Like, and then I was like, then I'm going to have to rush to uni. Then I'm going to have no time until 1 o'clock. So then I was like, I'll have to go back to work and train at 1. And then I'm going to have to go back to uni for the last 2 lectures. And then I've got to go back to work for me last sessions. Yeah. So I'd just be like, my day would just be like, that's the way it's going. And that's because I didn't have any time. So I think, like, you talking about time management is probably good. Like for your clients, because you can actually say, I have been in a position where I felt like I had no time.
Yeah.
I think we've
100%.
spoke about this before. We speak about values all the time because it's just so fucking important. But like one of my clients said to me the other week before I'd done the time management thing, she was like, when I started with you, like she's busy. Everyone's fucking busy. Yeah. She was like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do like 2 or 3 workouts a week and to do all of the food prep stuff and to do all of this. And I've just found the time. And I was like, because you give a fuck about it. Like, if you give a fuck about it, if you understand the importance of it, you'll find the time. If you don't understand the importance of it, if you can't see the value in that behaviour or that task or that thing, you won't make time for it.
Do you know what I always think, and it's probably more so with my clients and yours. I don't know if you have any like younger people.
I have a few, yeah.
People who don't have any responsibility always struggle with time management
Yeah.
because they've never been under the pressure to have to work it out.
Yeah.
So if you're just in uni,
Yeah.
like you like one lecture a day,
Yeah.
and you might have to do a bit of fucking revision every now and then, but you might forget and you might push it off till the weekend, and like
Yeah.
you're just fucking about doing nothing all day. And then you're looking at people executing and you're like, how the fuck are they finding all the time to do that? I can't find the time to go to one lecture and get my revision done and meal prep and go to the gym. It's like the level of stuff that you have to fit in the day is so like insignificant that there's no pressure.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. You can just do it tomorrow. There's no
Yeah.
pressure. So you've never had to develop the skills. You've never been forced to develop the skills. Whereas when you've got 101 responsibilities and everything has to be executed right now, you just find you just work it out. You just find the capacity to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's like that pressure. The pressure creates diamonds.
And like,
isn't
I
it?
think a lot of people just think like our job like kind of reaches to the realms of like training programs and nutritional protocols, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Do you know what I wish I could do? I wish I could like put someone's brain in the future. If like say if you work with me for the next 6 months, this is exactly
what's gonna happen.
and you'd be able to see into the future, and like so they understand. Because
the gravity of the
people
situation.
just think it's just like, oh yeah, I'll just get a training plan and a nutrition plan,
Yeah.
and I'll just do a check-in once. It's like it's not.
No, there's a lot of like obviously we're not psychologists, you know what I mean? But like there's a lot of behaviour change work and habit unpicking and rebuilding that needs to be done during that time. And obviously it's like individual to each client as to how they work towards doing that. So it's like what is really being sold to somebody isn't a trainer and nutrition program. It's the ultimate result, isn't it, of feeling better in your own skin, number one, because that's what everybody wants, but also to like be at a place where you are actually happy inside, which not to suggest that if you look great on the outside, you're always just going to be happy on the inside. But like the way they say happiness is an inside job, it's about like making that outside match the inside and what you want the inside to be like. So it's like those behaviors and habits that you're picking up are in line with somebody who could be happy in this life. Like rather than just like if you fill your body with shit constantly, you do nothing for it, you never move, you lie on the couch all day, you're gonna feel like shit. If you're watching negative like shit on the telly, if you're watching the news every day and like scaring yourself silly with stuff from the news, and you're looking at this and you are consuming like negativity. You have bad habits that don't support a healthy and fulfilled life. You have consumed negative shit for however long, and like then you're expecting to feel good in yourself. So like I'm always like, it's not just like, oh, it's about aesthetics. It's not just about aesthetics. Like it's not just about that. Those are great, and I absolutely support people who want to make aesthetic changes, because I think that if you're unhappy with what you look like it's hard to be happy about that part of your life. But it's equally as much about being happy on the inside and like what you can do to make yourself feel happier. And those behavior changes that we kind of facilitate like help to be happy on the inside. Like all of the stress management stuff, all of that becoming better with time management, all of the learning how to like do things for yourself and put yourself first. All of these kinds of things like facilitate that happiness. And I just don't think people realize that that's actually what we're selling here. We're not just selling you like jump on a treadmill or
the outside's like the stepping stone, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like you have to say to that person, because when you meet that person on like a consultation call or the first conversation you have with them, you're meeting them at the point where they see their body as the problem. They see like their weight as the problem, or their lack of routine, or their shit diet as the problem. And we know that that's just
a byproduct of the problem.
Yeah, that's just a result of all of the things that they're not doing in their life, that they're mismanaging or they're like ignoring their emotions or whatever it is. But then when you've got them on that call, you've got to be like, sound, yeah, let's get you some weight off.
Yeah.
You're going to feel great.
Yeah.
When you lose that weight, yeah, we're going to get you exercise, and yeah, we're going to get you eating right. And then because obviously we were all at that point once where that's where I got into fitness, was because I'd done a keto diet, thought keto was the best thing in the world, and got abs, so started telling everyone else to do keto.
Do keto.
And that was how I got into fitness. You all start with that, and then we know you can't say that to someone on the phone because they're not ready to hear it, are they? Like, you're not ready to, someone on the phone is not ready for you to go, hi, I'm Jack. Lovely to meet you for the first time today. Your weight's not the problem.
It's your habits and the way you live your life.
Your whole entire life is the problem. The weight is just the outcome. When do you want to start?
Yeah.
That's a
but
good
it's
way
true,
to put
innit?
it. The weight is just the outcome. Like if
Yeah.
you're living like a dickhead, you just so happen to be very out of shape.
What's that quote?
You just so
Does it-
happen to be emotionally stressed all the time.
Yeah.
If you just gain control of all these things outside, naturally your physique just follows.
Yeah.
And it's also
And you feel
like
fucking boss.
you know, someone can be in a body that somebody else deems like nice or desirable or whatever, and still not be happy because they still haven't done the inside work, or they've got to that position through like bad means. Like for example, like the first time that like I started like losing weight and stuff, like all well and good for a while, but then it became like a at the very beginning. So we're talking about like 5 or 6 years ago, really, but like it became an obsession. It be like not a good obsession. It became like over exercise and under eating, like even like traits of like binge eating and teetering on like disordered eating behaviors.
Yeah.
And like I probably looked like the best I'd ever looked to some people because I was like size 6, like skinny, like that was what I'd wanted. That was the goal. That was what I'd wanted. And then when I was there, like that didn't make me happy because obviously like I was doing things that weren't supportive of my body and my life to get there. So that also didn't mean that I was living like the best life, like that, like just because someone might look okay on the outside. Like this is why I hate when you see on social media like people start talking about like a fat loss journey or a gym journey that they've started or whatever it is, and then you'll get people going, but you don't need to go to the gym.
Oh my god.
But you don't need to. You're skinny anyway. Doesn't matter if they're skinny anyway. The point is they're still not happy with it, so something else is wrong. Like it doesn't mean that just because like you're skinny, you're happy. Because I wasn't happy, and I'd say I'm more happy now than I was then. And it's because like now I live my life in accordance to my highest values and what I actually want out of life, and the body follows with that, rather than me constantly trying to be a smaller version of myself. Which is what I ultimately wanted, because I didn't want, and it is to do with the whole like don't take up space. It's like the skinnier I am, the better I'll feel about me, the better I'll feel in clothes, like the better people will look upon me. Like I'll be deemed as attractive because I'm skinny. And that's not what happened, because I didn't find myself attractive at that point.
You were focusing on trying to achieve these external goals
without addressing anything that was inside.
We had this happen this week with one of my clients. Like sent me like two minutes worth of voice notes, having an absolute meltdown because she took
Yeah, I seen that.
took progress pictures, and you all like, we know as coaches, you've looked at that many bodies in fucking underwear that you can just see changes like that as soon as you look at it, can't you?
Other people can't see it.
Other people, like you, especially if you're looking at you. If you look at someone else,
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah,
because you've got this like, especially if you don't feel good about yourself, if you don't like you internally, you will look for all of the worst parts of you externally, no matter how good you look. Like when I done that photo shoot with you, morning of the photo shoot, I'm looking at me going, fucking hell, stomach's still fat there. Do you know what I mean? And people would pay a lot of money to look the way I looked on that photo shoot. And I was still in the morning going, fucking hell, should have pulled off more weight around my waist there. Because you do when you're looking at you. So I had that conversation with her. I was like, look at what's going on. Step away from the scales. It was because the measurements were the same. It's been like 4 months and the measurements are exactly the same, give or take like a centimetre. She just had a fucking meltdown. She was like, what the fuck's all this been for? Like, why have I done all this? Why have I put all this effort in? Like, I've got nowhere. I'm fucking useless. Like, went on this really like self-deprecating fucking rant. And I was just like, hang on a minute, mate. Pulled up her
we're not doing this.
Pulled up her app before I even said, see the thing I put on my story and it was like, give your head a wobble.
Yeah.
That was me going through her progress pictures and going through like the visual change, but that was the last thing I sent her because I didn't want to focus on her body, because you don't like your body, so let's not focus on that. Like, that's not where we need to focus. I went straight to a training program and was like, the app we use is great. It shows you all the PBs they've had, and it shows you just a long list of all of the gym progress that they've made. And I just pulled that up and I was just like, okay, let's look. And it was like 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th, like every day of the month that she'd been in the gym, PB, new lift, new max volume, new PB, new max volume, new fucking heaviest weightlifters. And I was like, shut the fuck up, mate. Like, so your fucking arms are the same centimetre as they were last time. Like, you've been sending me pictures of the fucking muscles in your back for weeks.
Yeah.
And how much more you can see them and how much stronger you are. Look at all of this stuff that you've done. Like, step out of just looking at that and look at like all the other stuff. And then when you put the pictures side by side, once you took fucking terrible pictures, like in a different room every time, in a different outfit every time.
Yeah.
So I had to go and find two that were, well, to be
Similar.
fair, the newest one and the oldest one were kind of similar, but if you're not good at putting side by sides together, you would never have got them together. But I put enough side by sides together that I can make two
Make it work.
two awfully taken photos match up and be shoulder to shoulder and waist to waist. I was like, fucking hang on, moving it around. I was like, fucking come on, that one head's too big. Like doing like, remember how finicky we had to be in the first gym we ever worked at?
Yeah.
Like doing that for ages, and then put them side by side, and I was like, mate, you look fucking completely different.
Yeah.
Like, look at you. Look at you. I was like, I just put the thing, I was like, look at you. Like, that's two completely different fucking people.
And it's probably cause as well, like she's obviously, I know on your program they do like focus on like habit building and stuff like that, and she's probably just got a little bit of like inner work to still do, as we all do.
The problem, I think, for her with that is that we don't focus on photos and we don't focus on measurements. Like, they're not the focal point of a check-in every week.
Yeah.
I just get them to do it because it's a marker for
Of
me to
progress,
track
yeah.
that, like, if your weight's not coming down and the goal's fat loss, well, we need to make some changes. So I need to know.
Yeah, you need to know.
I need to
what's
know
what,
these
yeah.
metrics, but it's not like we're not checking in every week to be like, well done, your legs have come down 2 centimeters, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well done, you've trained really hard. It's all the other stuff around that, and then obviously trying to get them to reach their goals as well.
Yeah.
But like focusing on the other stuff, because when you do focus on just the pictures, just the measurements,
Yeah,
you
it
get
becomes-
meltdowns every single fucking week.
Yeah.
And it's fucking, it's just shit. So then when we did end up actually focusing on it, because we hadn't looked at it in a while,
You saw all the changes. That were there.
I'd seen all the changes, but she didn't. And then that was like, oh my God, what the fuck? Because for weeks and weeks and weeks, she's been like smashing this.
Yeah, and then
Looking at the numbers,
one
I'm getting
thing tripped her
stronger. I'm fucking getting faster. I'm getting fitter. Like, my resting heart rate's coming down.
And
All
that's
this kind of
another one,
stuff.
innit? Like you're getting stronger, your resting heart rate's coming down. Like you are, okay. Like, you might not be at the body that you want to be at yet, like, which is fine, because like there's, we've got time to work on that. Like, that's fine. And obviously she wants a result, she'll get it. But it's like, look, like you're increasing the longevity of your life. Like, your resting heart rates come down. Like, you're fitter. Like, you're able to do more stuff. You move around better. Like, maybe you're in less pain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all
She
of
can
these
go out
things.
and eat food without feeling anxious on a night out now. She wouldn't eat before if she went on a night out because she couldn't track the calories. She didn't know
Yeah.
you'd made the food. And I was like, do you not think that that's more important than like
Yeah,
having abs? Like, you can eat out now.
without panicking.
You can
about
go
it,
to
yeah.
a restaurant and just eat food and enjoy yourself and have a nice time.
As we know, like, if you want a certain result and like you're hell bent on fat loss, like, again, which is fine. Most of my like girls are fat loss clients. I have the odd muscle build girl, or I have somebody who's done fat loss with me and then decided that they want to move it like towards building a little bit of muscle or whatever it is. But initially, most of my clients come to me for fat loss. But that's not just what they get, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about that for me. So
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what
so they come
Mark
for
said.
they come for fat loss, they stay for the meditation. But like they come for fat loss, which is great. But like you have to make sacrifices to get to where you want to be. We all know this, calorie deficit. We all get that. And eating out. Yeah, exactly. We've been James Smithson, he explained it 50,000 times. But yeah, like we know that, like, we know going out on nights out, like, isn't ideal if you want to lose fat every week. We know that, like, eating food that you've prepared where necessary is better if you've prepared it, you know what's in it, blah, 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 blah. We know all that. But, like, for certain people, like, it's getting them out of the habit of being, like, that restrictive in mindset that they can never go out for a meal. They can never eat something that someone else has cooked. They think that that's the only way to achieve fat loss. And it's like, no, like, going out, like once every 2 weeks, like, for a little meal, like with your partner or something, like we can manage around that. Like we can work around those things. Like, we don't need to be scared about doing it. But there's a lot of people who've gotten into the mindset of, I think, being scared and anxious, and then that brings up other issues with food and things like that. And like, think, yeah, a lot of coaches are kind of like, I think I've got like things to answer for in terms of like people's relationships with food, because like the amount of people I've had come to me from previous other people and just being like, my relationship with food's fucked.
It's in the bin.
And I'm
It just needs to be in the context of the person and their values.
Yeah,
and
100%.
where they're at. So
and
like,
what exactly they
if
want.
one of my clients said, I want to be shredded, and they said, I'm going to go out and I can't eat it because I'm going to track my food, I'll be like, yeah, don't fucking eat it. You can't.
Yeah, because your clientele is that, isn't it?
Exactly.
Shred,
So
like I want to be shredded.
But that's a very clear understanding at the start of that journey, isn't it? Like,
I'm here to get shredded.
Yeah.
You can't go and eat untracked meal.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of, I mean, you can, but you won't be
shredded. And I think there's also like a clear difference, to be honest, as well, between like males and females. Like as you well know, like with males, and you can push them harder, I think, in terms of like the depths they can go to for like fat loss without it having an adverse effect on their
psychology. Mainly.
And their actual bodily function. Like women, like people need to understand, unless you are like a bikini girl and that's what you want to do, like that, you know, you've got the clear understanding that obviously doesn't symbolize health. Like we know that, like they do it as an extreme sport. Like we know it's not health. But yet, obviously, Instagram and social media can portray the image that this is what you could achieve. This is what you can look. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Do you know what the scariest thing for me is?
You shouldn't. No, you shouldn't though, should they? Like, if you're a woman, if one of your clients came to you and was like, you know, I want to look like one of them girls, like from the bikini. Well, no, unless you're a bikini competitor and you that's what you want. And
I love spelling that out. I love spelling that out to people. It's like, I want to look like that. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't.
Do you want to lose your period for 4 months? So.
Yeah. Like,
do you not want to have kids? Do you want to risk not having kids? No. Oh, you do want kids, right? We don't look like that then.
Well, no, because you know, if you got any intent, like I say, like, you know, I've been in like the kind of bodybuilding side of things as well, and it's like, you know, it's all well and good, got no issue, people compete and think it's great if that's what they want to do. Absolutely no problem with it, but they understand the risks of it. They understand what it requires. They understand the sacrifice. They know full well going into it what they are choosing to do, because we know it's not health. They know it's not health. They're doing it because it's a sport, and they are giving up everything in their lives for that sport. The everyday woman like wants to look like that, sees it on Instagram and goes, oh my God, wow. I'm like, yeah, they do look great, but also unattainable. They stay like that for a day. Like we don't look like that. We don't walk around like that. Like PTs don't walk around like that. Yeah, might have great bodies, but it's not like 5% body fat. Like women cannot stay there. No. Like we can't do that. Like, and if we ever had like a client come to us and say that, it's like, you understand the risks of this, don't you? Like you couldn't, probably not the clients we would coach.
Yeah.
Because I'm all too happy to get someone lean, but not at the risk or expense of like their overall health and like getting amenorrhea and things like that. Like I'm just like, that's not my scope of practice at all.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that like almost worries me about the fitness industry, because bodybuilding has come into the mainstream so much, is how many, like, there's coaches everywhere, isn't it? Fitness industry
everywhere.
Is huge.
And now with online coaching, mate. Like,
how many of them you speak to who have quite clearly got eating disorders, disordered eating,
lots,
completely just like destructive eating habits and behaviors, but are completely unaware of it, or don't see it as the bad, like the danger sign that it is. And I remember having a conversation. Do you remember Andrew Keeler, Arc Nutrition?
Yeah.
I had a consultation with him once because I had a client that was just way outside of my scope, and was like, mate, can I, because I knew he's a smart man, so I booked a call with him, and he was like, look, what's going to happen is as you start progressing with this client, they're going to feel good about not struggling with this. It was an eating issue, not struggling with this issue anymore. And then they'll want to help other people struggling with that issue because they've begun to overcome it. But the thing is, they haven't overcome it. It's been like a 3 or 4 or 5 month period where they just haven't had that issue.
Yeah.
but the issue is still there. It's just
because
not.
it's covered over.
It's just
by
not
something
present
else.
right now. It will come back. It will reemerge. And they haven't managed it, and they're not qualified to go and help someone else overcome it. He said, well, then what can happen is they end up potentially teaching this other person
Those bad habits.
different
Or
ways of hiding it,
compulsions or
or
whatever it
learning
is.
different ways of hiding it. So like for people who, so the example he gave me was like, if someone's forcing themselves to throw up after they eat, well, they might like get a handle on that, get better at it, but then like meet someone and be like, oh, do you struggle with that? Oh yeah, I struggled with that. Oh, I used to do this. And they tell them something that they used to do, but they don't do it anymore. And then that new person is like, oh, I've never thought about doing that.
I'll do that.
Oh, I could do that. And they end up passing on these bad habits while they're trying to be helpful. And he was like, you've got to be so careful of that and like put that out to them straight away that, look, if you get a handle on this, you're not qualified to go and help other people with it. But then in the fitness industry,
That's
we've
what
got
people
loads
do.
of people who've overcome these issues and are now coaching clients.
And the fact of the matter is this: a lot of people don't want to hear this because they think they're qualified to deal with it. But unless you are a psychologist or have got some kind of like letters after your name that
Unless
say
you've got
you're
letters
allowed,
after your name, shut up.
You are not qualified to deal with somebody with an eating disorder. That is out of your scope of practice. You should not be dealing with that. It doesn't matter. Like you have to put your ethics and morals above money and what it could mean if you get this client or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're not qualified to coach
Yeah, but I
them.
got a boss transformation with them.
Doesn't matter.
Not last.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be coaching them. And like I just it baffles my head. Like you're not supposed to be coaching them, so don't coach them. What you should do if you are like, trying to be a moral person is point them in the direction of the adequate help. For example.
Just refer out. It's so
Like,
easy.
why can't you refer out? Like I literally had
Do you know Rachel Hobbs?
Yeah, I follow her because of you.
Yeah, I refer out. She must be sick of me messaging her. Because every time, like, start questionnaires, I ask some, like, certain questions, like, have you controlled your weight with vomiting? Have you been jet in the past 6 months? Have you vomited as a way of controlling your weight in the past 6 months? Have you overeat and had it affect you in an emotional way in the past 6 months? Just a lot of emotional eating disorder style questions to just some red flags.
Decipher.
And some people will just lie on it. That it's part of the
and that is
issue.
what it is,
Which
yeah.
it is what it is. Like, but as soon as it's highlighted, or people just don't think they need to tell you.
Yeah. Which has
Because-
happened to me before as well. As
Yeah.
in, like, gained the client, like, ended up, like, months and months down the line telling me, like, obviously letting me in and telling me more stuff. And I was just like,
because that's
would have been
you're a
helpful to
complete
notice at the beginning. I was
You're a
like,
complete stranger.
But
You're a complete
obviously,
stranger, so, and it's
people
something
don't
very
want to
personal,
divulge
isn't it?
it,
Yeah.
do they? Like,
Yeah.
which I get.
But I just go straight to her because
And
she's the professional, isn't she?
mate,
And then I'll
like-
just say to her, like, a lot of the time, it's just this is the story of this client. This is what they're dealing with. This is what they've told me. Should I still be coaching them?
And she'll say
And that's
no.
it. And she'll
if
go,
it's not, yeah.
Should I refer them out to you or someone else? Or am I okay to still coach them? I had this conversation. She's off with maternity leave at the minute as well. I'm still pestering her. I emailed her and she was like,
though?
I've just had a baby. I was like, I know, congratulations. I'm really sorry for this, but this is like I don't know, like, you're the one I always refer out to. And she was like, no, it's fine. Just give me like a week to get back. And she did.
She probably appreciates the fact that you are actually doing this though, because not
she
enough
is,
coaches
like-
do it.
And it's not like she's gonna. I think some people think, oh, well, you're stealing my clients off me. Like, she doesn't. Like, the last person I reached out to, she was like, to be fair, everything you've done is fine. There's no reason for you to not
Coach this
coach her.
person.
She's obviously trusts you because of the stuff that they've told you.
Yeah.
Carry on, and if it does like present again, or if it does get worse, then yeah, just offer her,
Yeah.
because you can't even force a client to leave. You can't I always say to them, look,
This is how it is.
if it's right at the start in a consultation, it's like, look, I can't help you.
But then if
However,
you've been with someone for a long time and then
here's
they tell
Rachel
you.
details, but if they're with you, you can't be like, see you later then.
Yeah. It's like I had a consultation call with a girl who told me about this was like literally last week. She competed in bodybuilding shows like previously, like when she was younger, like literally I'm talking like 18, 19, so she was very young, like when she was competing in these shows, which was like great, like fantastic. She enjoyed the experience of it, like great. But then now, like years later, like, and she's in her 20s now, so like she's suffering with. It's been a few years. She's suffering with like other side effects of that now, and it's not that bodybuilding gave her an eating disorder. By the way, I don't believe that it gives people eating disorders. I believe that people who enter into the sport with preconceived like notions of EDs, it presents itself more vigorously after the fact. And that's what's happened with her. She had already had eating disorder tendencies.
Oh, yeah.
Then went into bodybuilding, then thought she was okay. And then now it's presenting itself worse, like in the sense of now she thinks that like she's fat. Like, and I was just looking at the girl like in my professional opinion, like there's no chance. Like you're not overweight. I was like you are not overweight. Like you wouldn't be categorized as obese. Like it's fine to want to work on your body and things like that. But I was like, nah. I was like, there's something more. So then I was like, tell me a little bit more about this. Like, what, how did you feel? Like, so the more we delved into like the questions, it was very clear to me, okay, this eating disorder is still very much something that is present here. It is managed a lot better, but it's not something that I would like to ever try and dip my toe into. So I referred it out to Amelia Thompson, messaged, like gave her all the information. I said, listen, like I don't mind. She got my number and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't mind, like, if you need any like advice or help. I was like, in terms of like, some meal ideas or some stress management stuff, or stuff to do with like workouts and strength gate, because she wants to get stronger and things like this. So I was like, that's all fine. I was like, don't mind answering training questions and things like that. But anything to do with like nutrition or actually coaching I was like, that's not my bag. I was like, you need to like go and look up this lady. I was like,
here's someone with letters behind the name.
I was like, give it a little message. I was like, she deals with exactly the problems that you're facing. I was like, she is fantastic. I went, she deals with exactly what you're facing. She deals with people who've been in the bodybuilding world and now aren't in the bodybuilding world. I was like, and that's a lot more suited to you. I was like, I went like, I was just honest. I was just like, no offense or anything like that. I was like, I just would not like to aggravate any of your issues at all. I was like, and that's not my scope of practice. I'm not qualified to deal with that. I was like, but as a friend or a helpful person on Instagram or over WhatsApp, I was like, absolutely, yeah. Like, I'll chat to you about training all day. Yeah. I was like, I just don't want to touch that. Yeah. Like,
that episode of the Huberman podcast would be a really interesting one for you to listen to about eating disorders, about anorexia and bulimia. And he was saying that anorexia is recorded as pretty much as far back as the records go, and so it's not crazy, caused. They think there's a genetic component to it that you don't get anorexia from like your environment. You don't get anorexia because you go into bodybuilding, but you're genetically predisposed to having anorexia, and then you put yourself in that environment, and then
you fuck.
I feel like that like would make sense though, like, because I feel like people like obviously I feel like obviously environmental factors can have an effect on how you feel and think, and what you like, for example, social media, what people see and all that. But I don't think it like gives you the eating disorder. I think like those things already have to be in place. So like the way, like I said before, like people blame bodybuilding for eating disorders.
Just exacerbates the issue.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't think that bodybuilding gives people eating disorders at all. I think that people with already preconceived like feelings
you get into
around
bodybuilding
food
for the wrong idea, for the wrong
reasons. Yeah,
you're just gonna.
It's got your eating disorder. Like tendencies are going to present more. Yeah. Like I think that
like
that's
if you hate yourself and you get into bodybuilding,
that's what I was about to say. I think
the
main thing here, really, bringing it back to the conversation. Obviously, we just spoke about eating disorders, but bringing it back to what we were speaking about before. For some people, it'll present as an eating disorder. For some people, it'll just present as depression. Some people, it'll present as self-hatred. It's like if you go into your
some people present as
journey,
like being the best athlete in the world.
Yeah,
which is like
no. If you go into your fitness journey thinking solely that getting in shape is going to fix all of your problems, you're going to be fucked at the end of it.
Yeah,
And also hating yourself into that position as well.
Yeah,
like, I'm doing this because I hate myself. Like, I'm going to the gym because I hate my body, because I hate me. And I'm like, I always like say to my girls, like, no, I'm like, you know, every single time a thought enters your mind of like, I hate myself, I hate my, but I'm like, literally, I went, sounds fucking insane. I was like, because I know I sound like an insane woman. I was like, but I was like, literally answer yourself back in your head. Be like, no, like, I don't hate myself at all. I'm doing this because I love myself. Like, no, I'm doing this because I love myself. I want myself to be the best version of myself.
I invented the 3 R's for this, and you can use it if you want.
Go on.
Yeah.
You can use it if you want.
You
Go
can
on.
have this.
3 hours.
Trademark by Level 10
Trademark
Life,
it,
all
yeah.
right? For every one of you fucking coaches listening, mind this. So if I see you posting about it, tag me.
You'll know where it come from.
I'm not asked to use it. It's sick. It helps. The 3 R's. Realise. Realise you've said something negative, self-deprecating, whatever. Rephrase.
I like this.
I'm fucking fat. I need to go to the gym. Realise I've said something stupid. Rephrase it. I want to be better. I'm going to the gym today. Repeat it. Repeat the new phrase back to yourself.
And that is great. That is
3
a
R's
great little
for
exercise.
Negative
Nice.
self-talk.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I
So I like
really
that,
like that.
You've
Yeah,
told me it before, so I'm,
I know. You're not
I'm
new to
just-
this, but yeah.
I really
yeah.
like that.
It's nice.
And
Do you know I come up with that on the fly, late for a training session with you in the car park of Prophecy?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do a video on negative self-talk. Whipped up at the gym, flying on pre-workout, and was like, shit, I need to get in there. He's going to be waiting for me. Got my phone out and just went bum, 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 bum. And was like, oh.
that was great.
Post that later.
Yeah, that is a good one though, and it's also true. Like I think that is the thing, isn't it? Like,
Well,
like you were
how
saying.
can someone in that position who does hate themselves, who does just think they're shit and just not happy with their lives, what do you say to them? Do they start the gym? Do they say, oh well, where do they start in trying to start loving themselves? Do you start with the gym and hope everything else happens as a result? Do you start with internal work? What happens? I just want to ask you guys. I know what it is for me.
I think everyone starts differently, to be fair. Like, as in, like, each individual comes to, like, the realisation that change needs to happen in different ways. I think, like, starting with the gym isn't a bad thing. I just think that most people realise very quickly that that's not the only problem.
Yeah.
And also that if you go through a training session, like, just on the logistical side of things, if you go through a training session thinking, I hate myself, I hate this, I'm tired, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, like, then it becomes such a chore and task, and it's something that you're not going to keep up with. So the more you start going, and the more you start going, yourself, no, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. It's going to be all right. I love being here. I love it. And you're trying to tell, like, I love being here. Honestly, I do. And, like, it makes it easier to be there. So I think, like, the more, like, people start to realise that, I think, like, the more they start to realise, if I continue to talk negatively, this is going to be a hard task. And then it transfers to other areas of your life.
Fuel greatness with hate,
It's only
you're
so
gonna
far.
burn out very quickly. You'll
Well,
get
who
to
do
a
you know
certain
that's been
point.
successful hating people?
You'll get to the point where you don't
Or
hate yourself
themselves.
anymore, and then you don't hate yourself anymore, and then you'll stop. And I actually often see this with people who will start working with me, and they'll get to a point where they're no longer uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and then they'll fall off a little bit.
Yeah.
And then a couple of months later, we'll have a few conversations, and then all of a sudden they come to me like, and they're just on it
I'm
again.
ready.
Yeah.
And they've gone through that personal evolution where they realised that changing their physique didn't change everything.
Yeah.
It just made them less uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
And now they're fine, they're comfortable, but now they've developed an appreciation for themselves, they've developed a little bit of compassion for themselves, and now they want they're excited to try and push to reach their potential. And that's the evolution that I love to see. Because I always know when it's happening. It actually, I was speaking to a client yesterday, I bumped into him, he's finished with me now. But that happened to him. And I said to him, as it was happening, I'd noticed him falling off, and I said, we had the conversation, and he wanted to just have a bit of a break from coaching. I was like, look, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Have a month off and come back to me. And then it when you feel ready, and he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he went into a gaining phase and added something stupid. I think he got like 10 kilos.
It's mad, isn't it? It's why.
But it's like I was watching it happen. I told him, look, lad, this is what's going to happen, and it did.
We've all reached, like, in our own coaching programs, in like, or in the way we coach with our clients, we've all, like, this happens to everyone.
Yeah.
And we've all just, like, subconsciously clocked onto it and gone, right, okay, this is how, when you work with me, I'm going to deal with it. This is how. So, like, for us, it's when they have that wobble of, oh, well, actually, I don't hate myself anymore now.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to punish myself with
Yeah.
food.
People are like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah,
they
like I
never
can't
felt
stay
that.
consistent. And it's like, okay, but that's because you're doing well. You've done really well. Like
Yeah.
I've been singing your praises for weeks and now you don't hate yourself as much.
Yeah.
So now we need to set something else as the
Yeah.
goal, because wanting to lose weight because you're unhappy is no longer a big enough driving force for you.
'Cause you're
And I
not
think
unhappy
it's
anymore.
still it's still relevant, isn't it? Because it becomes like more of like a how far can you push yourself? Like, ooh, like this could be fun. Like, how
Yeah.
far can I push
But
myself
no
doing
one's
this?
going
Like,
to
what
have
can
that
I-
energy to see how far they can push themselves unless they love themselves.
Yeah.
Unless they're
I
excited.
think
about what they
everyone
can
starts
achieve.
off with that hate,
Yeah.
and then you have to have that.
It's like I had a client say to me,
that switch.
last week-
Otherwise, you'll just be in that loop.
Mm.
So like
Forever.
people are in that loop when people are in like yo-yo dieting.
yeah,
It's like, hate myself, lose weight. Okay, hate myself, lose weight. Okay, hate myself, lose. Forever and ever and ever until like one of us comes along, or they do something, or they like
To
sign
break
up for
the
a 5K, or like
Yeah.
they get in a happy relationship, or they get a dog, or just something pulls them out of that loop to go, don't actually hate myself that much. I'm all right, mate. What else
Quite
can
like
I do?
myself.
Yeah. Like even like for some people, like graduating uni and then they realise, oh, actually I am smart.
Yeah,
Oh,
Well,
okay,
the-
well, what else can
So
I do?
this is what the caveat to this whole conversation is like. Yeah, getting in shape won't fix all your problems, but it sort of might help.
and
get
it's like a
over them.
stepping stone to help
Because,
fix
yeah,
those
it's like-
problems.
If you focus on fixing your shape, obviously you're gonna sleep better, you're gonna do this better, you're gonna do that. So naturally you'll start to feel a bit better. But like we've said this many times, it's like I think if you are gonna really go and achieve an insane physique transformation, I've said this many times on the podcast, but I'm just saying it to you. It's like if you're gonna get to that level, it's very fucking hard.
Yeah,
So the stuff that you have to go through and the personal development that you have to go through in order
Yeah.
to reach that, for someone who is in a place where they haven't got like they're not anywhere near eating disorders, they're not depressed, they're in a good place mentally, but they're just not functioning
Yeah.
at that level. If you push them through an unbelievable physique transformation,
teachers and words,
the person that they become along that journey is just a completely different human.
which I think is quite exciting to watch. By the way,
Yeah.
like
And-
because obviously like we deal with different kinds of clients, and like I've got clients like that as well who you could push, you
Yeah.
could push, and it's boss to watch them grow because they like see that they can actually
They're
do
like,
it.
fuck, they're like, the confidence just goes through the roof
Yeah.
because they see what's
Yeah.
actually possible.
Yeah.
And you've never
then-
thought it's possible
Yeah,
before.
And then they start walking around with the chest out, start walking around more confident. Like even
Do you know
like,
what?
even
Just to
messages
cut
that I
in,
get
sorry.
from people who will be like more confident approaching girls because they've seen
Yeah.
what they just feel better about themselves. They know what they can do. They know that they don't know. They just feel proud of themselves.
That was when I was saying I'd done the walkthrough of before and afters.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that was changed, was how she was stood in the pictures.
yeah. Stood
Just
there,
simply that.
better
Yeah.
Like,
posture, smile.
you're stood upright in that first picture. You
you know-
carry you like that, all
do you know-
slumped over, and you've rounded your shoulders. And then in the second one, your chest's up. And I haven't asked you to change how you're standing. You're just carrying
Yeah.
yourself better. Like,
Jacob, can you put this up on the screen in a second? I'm gonna WhatsApp you. I just have to find it on my Instagram. But you know, remember Ruben's transformation?
yeah.
That before and after.
Ruben
it
got
ain't-
shredded because he just F-edged the walls.
Yeah,
He'd
you
never
just,
F-edged the walls
you
before.
just
Is that he never?
What was it? He'd never
vegetables?
F-edged or fruit or something, and then you just started making him eat fruit and veg. He was like, I've got loads of energy.
Well, mate, yeah.
So Ruben has lived on chicken fucking
Chicken nuggets and chips for his life.
for his whole life. I'm not even joking, for his whole life. And I just literally got him to. It wasn't even elaborate. I just got him to eat chocolate a little bit less, eat fruit
Eat chocolate
every
a
now
little
and
bit
then,
less.
and he ate chicken and rice for his lunch and dinner, and that was it. Like that's like
Yeah.
you know we some like
That's the
it's-
basics
it's not
of it.
it's not optimal. It's not
Yeah.
like just enough.
Just better.
But because of how shit his diet was, it was just like just slight improvement, and he had so much energy. He was fucking flying. Like everything was just completely different.
You know
And
the goat?
Yeah.
You know my client?
yeah,
And see how I've just done that without naming any names, but you know him on about.
yeah.
Similar story. Just looked at their routine and was just like, okay, maybe getting your breakfast from a petrol station, service station isn't the best. Let's change that. And then when I'm voice notages have been off the radar for like 3 weeks, and if you don't hear from a client for 3 weeks, it's like,
Yeah, I've just sent you that. Jacob.
okay,
It doesn't spell anything good, does
they're
it? though?
probably gone.
Yeah, because like it doesn't
probably
spell
lost them
anything
here.
great
Yeah.
there.
No, mate. Smashed it for 3 weeks. Just been dead busy. And was just like,
look. So in the first picture, he's just like, his posture's a bit shit, shoulders a bit rounded. In the second one, look at the fucking smile on his face. His posture's better. It's just that's a different human.
do you know what? That's the one thing I miss most about doing in-person PT and in-person like body transformations. I'd never go back to it because it was just like soul crushing hours. But
100%.
the conversation you've had with Ruben on the right there, like you remember when, so let's say for example, we'd be in the office, wouldn't we? The first time you'd take the one on the left.
Yeah.
And you could just, there was always just an atmosphere. Unless they were a very bright and bubbly person anyway, there was always just an awkward atmosphere.
And like
of taking that
everyone
first
hates
photo.
that first photo.
And you've got to really you've got to turn on the personality, haven't you, to make them feel so comfortable because I'm about to ask you to take a lot of your clothes off and take a photo of you, and it's fucking uncomfortable and weird.
Mm-hmm.
So let's make this as relaxed and as normal as possible. And they're always just like this. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, turn to your side. Just trying to make it like dead chill. And then you do it, and you look at the photos and they're just like, why the fuck did I do this? And then like 6, 8, 12 weeks later, you've been in that room with Ruben, just chatting shit to him. Like, you've just come off a session and he's like laughing, and you take the photos and you look, and where they're just carrying themselves better and a smile.
I think you see that as well, like as you move through the transformation, like you start like to get a bit more comfortable taking the top off, for example. And they're just like, whack it off. Go on, whack yourself off. We need to get another picture.
Yeah.
Sound tough. Like, you know what I mean?
I remember that I think it was the week before that the posing room was taken, and we had to take progress photos.
Yeah.
Like on the gym floor. And I was like, Are you going to be okay to take your top off in the middle of the gym? And he was like, yeah. Because he was fucking in boss shape.
But that's because like he felt good, obviously.
The Ruben on the left probably wouldn't have done that. So,
what's the time frame on that?
Yeah.
Because I remember it being something ridiculous.
10 weeks or 11 weeks it was.
That's silly.
I think
for
it was
10, 11 weeks.
I think it was 10 weeks, and then
the power of vegetables.
I think you had to have, I think you had to have like a week off or something. So it ended up being 11 weeks in total, but it was 10 weeks really.
Yeah. Do you know what happened? I remember what happened. At 10 weeks, you were like, he's smashing it. Like you said to me, something along the lines of, wait till you see Ruben's pictures. And then he took a week off, and I remember you saying to me, lad, fucking took a week off. I think he went away somewhere or something. And you were like, oh, lad, he's going to fucking ruin it now. He's going blah, 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 blah for a week. And he come back and looked like that. And he was like, I was like, lad, what the fuck? Who is this guy? What the fuck have you done to him?
Wait, no, wasn't that? Are you sure that was Ruben? Was that not the recent transformation that we spoke about on the podcast?
I'm sure it was Ruben, because I remember you showing me the photos in the gym, because I knew Ruben.
I can't even remember. But yeah.
Something along them lines happened where you were like, he's going away right at the end. Like, what's he fucking doing the Muppet?
I can't even remember.
Like within the last week, and then he come back and still look like that.
Yeah, but
I love how it was like, it was not optimal. It was not optimal. It was just better. The chicken nuggets and chips.
That's all it's about, isn't it? It's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about,
and that was good for him, yeah.
I've got this phrase that I always go to when people try and be perfect, and I say it's not about being perfect, it's about being really good for a really long time.
It's nice that.
Just be really good.
Hang on a second.
You know what? Last week, one of my just on the subject of that, one of my clients said in the check-in, like obviously we ask like what went well, like what was the wins, what was your main takeaways from the week, like what went great, like tell me what you made up with, and she was just like, well, the training was really good, like my strength increased and everything, but it's just like, you know, just been quite consistent really, like it's just the same thing. And I was like, and she was just like, yeah, like, you know, there's not too much to report, like, and I was like, but this is good. I was like, don't you get that that's good? I was
this
like,
is the best thing.
Yeah. She was just like,
you didn't have to think about any of this stuff this week.
Yeah, I'm just going about like my business really. I'm just getting on with it. Like, yeah, it's quite good. But there's nothing new to report really. I was like, but that's the main thing. That's great. I was like, yes.
Do you ever get
it into
right?
a habit?
I've had a couple over the past couple of weeks. We've changed the check-in process now, right? And I've had a couple of clients who needed a lot of support when they first started.
Yeah.
Like the check-ins would be very long and there'd be lots of stuff to do, or we might need a call. And they've got to the point now where like I'd come to the check-in, I'd see their name, I'd open like stuff up, and I'd go, just do that again next week. Well done. Like, there was nothing. There's been like weeks and weeks of like, okay, don't worry about it yet. That's not a problem. Like, we'll change this. Yeah, we'll do this. Go and watch this video for me. Come back, go and try this. And then like, it's all just clicked. And now I'm just like,
well, I love them moments because then
Which is
you feel it. Like, it's great. It's
That's what we want,
fantastic
isn't it?
because you've smashed it. Like, it's perfect. But also like, just repeat that. The last week, just do that again for us.
But then I think it's important to tell people to just repeat and solidify that as the new normal. But then there's always levels that you can go to. So like, if someone's like hitting the calories and protein, just consistently smashing it, or just get them to track macros then and get them even more perfect, or get them to optimize the digestion, or get them to get an extra 30 minutes in bed, or get them to send you execution videos and perfect it. Like, there's always something that can go to the next level.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, when you've had them check-ins where like, you know it's going to be a 30-minute check-in, and then the week after it's like you've done in 4, and you're like,
can't believe this.
that was weird.
But like, especially
There's like 5 lines. There's like 4 lines of notes in their folder, and then you look at the week before, and there's like
Paragraphs.
4 paragraphs of
Love
things that you put in.
also like with the execution stuff as well. I think like that's a big one, isn't it? Like if, well, obviously that needs to be on point anyway, but I feel like clients are in the beginning, especially, less inclined to want to take a video of themselves in the gym. So obviously you don't get to see everything that they're doing, and then suddenly when they get a bit more confidence, get a bit more consistent with it, start to send you more videos.
I also think people are largely unaware of how shit their form is.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what that's what I was going to say, is like, you get to that point, especially for like a lot of the clients I work with or we work with, and it could be like week 9, week 10, and they finally, it could be like 4 months in, and they're like,
and you've been asking,
can you have a look
like
at this squat?
videos
You
and
look at
like,
this squat video for me? And they send you it, and I'm like, oh my god, you've been doing that for 4 months.
I know.
Are your knees okay?
I know. And you're like, because I'm always asking mine for
There's nothing you
videos,
can
but
do.
like,
There's nothing.
I pest it sometimes.
yeah,
Send me a form check
but
video.
don't
Like,
send
send me
you
that
it.
video.
Every
Send me
single
that
week
video.
on the check-in, I'm just like, lad, send me a fucking video of your training.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you
what
might
I
be
say.
training like dog shit. Like, your weight's going up, everything's going good.
Dog shit. You're
Like,
training like dog shit.
Everything's flying on paper. But like, you could be leaving so much on the table. I don't know.
And that's what I
know.
always say though. I'm always like, I can't fix what I don't see.
Yeah.
So I'm like, girls, like, I can't fix what I don't see. I'm like, and I don't want any of your training like fucking
Dog shit.
ridiculous in the gym. I'm like, so you need to show me what it is that we're doing. And then like maybe by like week 4, like they'll send me one and they'll be like, I sent you this. And it's just like a little, just like, you can see like the corner of them. And I'm like,
there's like 4 dumbbells and a water bottle in the way.
I'm like,
and you gotta like,
come on.
you gotta like zoom in and drag it out and be like,
I'm like,
okay,
I can
just
kind of
kinda
see
what you're
it.
doing.
I'm like, it looks all right. Like, but like, yeah, like 4 videos are massive. So if you are someone watching this who like is like thinking about getting a coach, like send form videos. Oh, got a coach, send form videos. Like,
I've
don't
got
feel silly.
6 months worth of pictures of you in your underwear. Just video yourself doing a squat in the gym. Come on.
Like no one cares,
Come on.
honestly. Like, and that way you'll ensure you're getting like the absolute most out of your training, because obviously, like, that was the joy of in-person PT, isn't it? Like, obviously we're there to see exactly what it is that you're doing, but the joy of online coaching, you obviously get more contact time and all this. Like, you get more of a deep dive into like your lifestyle and habits, which you don't normally tend to get with one-to-one PT, because people don't have the time for that, and like that's kind of not what the service is. So like that's the top and bottom of it. But like form videos and things like that we need, because we're obviously not there. So being able to see those things in a little bit more detail is ideal, because we need to make sure you're getting the most out of it.
It's
Otherwise,
funny that it's just
what's
like
the point in doing
across the board though. Like, all 3 of us work with very different clients, and all 3 of us have got that
and
exact
they're just like, we're not
the
sending you
same
no
thing.
video. I'm just like,
Send me a video. Send me a video.
Yeah.
Week 3, send me a video. Week 4, send me a video. Week 5, send me a video.
I think some of them feel
You know,
silly setting it up in the middle of the
Yeah,
gym. But
that's definitely it. In the end, sometimes I just like actually like almost have a bit of a go and just say, lad, like, just deadly serious, this is a piss take now, send me a fucking video.
to be
Well,
completely
what I've
honest,
done is, sorry to cut you off there.
go on.
In week 1, I ask for a form check.
Yeah, so do I, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen.
But in that, when it pops up on their thing, on their to do,
Yeah.
there's a link to a like £4 tripod on Amazon.
Nice.
as well. So it's like, just buy this tripod. It's £4.
I suppose
Just
that
prop
would
your
make
phone up.
everything easier.
Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes
do
I
that,
just
put
invite
it
people
on the
to train
floor.
with me.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say what I've like started doing more recently is I do like literally like a handful of sessions per week of one-to-one PT just for pure enjoyment purposes at this point. But I have started inviting, like, obviously not all of mine are local, but I've the ones that are, I've said, like, listen, like, let me know your availability, drop in the gym for a little session, and I'll go through your program with you in real time so that I can just see what's what. Because if they're being difficult about sending me a video, I'm like, just come in and see me. I'm like, and we'll go through it together and make sure that everything's perfect. Do you know what I mean? Or everything's there on what?
Do you know what I get to do?
What?
Send them to Rach.
Yeah, which is even better. There you go, Rach.
Do I need to take up an hour of my time? Or
Can Rach do it?
Rach has got a 5-hour shift on Monday. Free on Monday?
Rach is like,
Nice.
Rach, one of my clients is coming in on Monday. We just go through the form for me on
you
these
know
3
what?
exercises.
like,
We just take him through
That
the
is
session
great.
for me. It's so good.
having your girlfriend be like the second in command of the biz
Well,
is like ideal,
Get on this.
isn't it?
Equal partners in the business.
Oh,
50-50
mean?
shareholders.
What do you mean?
you
Like,
Rach?
Have you
Yeah.
formalised that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Love that.
Yeah.
Sick.
So,
Love that. So
'Cause at
level
first-
10 life is officially Jack and Rach.
yeah. So if it was like she was working with me. Very clear distinction. She
not
never
for-
ever worked for
No.
me.
I can't imagine it ever work for you.
Because sometimes I'd say that, it just would come out. I don't mean it, but it would come out, and I'd have to clear that up.
And she'd be like, "Oh really? Yeah, do I work for you? Yeah."
Like yeah. Like she's a part of Level 10 Life, or
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but now it's like legit. Like,
Yeah, now you've
she
made it a
works
fish.
for the business. She
Sick.
doesn't work for me, but she works for the business. She's a company director.
Sick.
It's just sick.
Hey,
It's dead cool.
to be able to say, I'm a company director.
Yeah.
That was well.
I had to fire my mum.
You had to fire
Yeah.
your mum.
Yeah, I had to
Why
fire my
not?
mum because she was a shareholder. She had one share in the business.
I had to fire
And obviously,
your mum.
if you're paying yourself dividends,
Yeah.
are you paying you dividends? You have to pay all the shareholders dividends
Yeah.
as well. And she
Yeah.
was a shareholder.
Yeah.
So I've had to pay my mum dividends and then go, hey, can we have that money back? So just like, she come round the other week and I was like, hey, mum, remember we set the business up a couple of years ago and I just put you down as a shareholder because I didn't really know what I was doing? Yeah.
I need that
That's
back.
making things complicated right now for me and the accountant. So can we just take
stop
you
that?
off that? Like, I need to fire you. Sorry, you're not a company director anymore.
We need to fire you.
So I just told, I explained her through and obviously never said that I was firing her. And she just went, wait a minute.
Are you firing me?
Sack me.
Are you firing me? And I was like,
Yeah.
looks like I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
mum. Sack your mum and gain reach.
yeah.
To wrap this convo up, I feel like we should bring it back to the conversation about how do people actually achieve fulfillment? Is it through?
Profound question.
Is it?
You
Is
always do this.
what do you mean?
Got 3 minutes left, and he goes, "Hey, here's this really big, deep
Well,
topic."
it's
that we're doing."
annoying to me.
Ross was on. And he went, "Okay, we've got 2 minutes left. Ross, let's talk about hypertrophy." And Ross went,
In 2 minutes.
"Yeah, let's talk about the most complicated subject in the next 2 minutes."
We had 10 minutes, lad.
All right, 10 minutes.
But now we've got 3.
We've got 3. Yeah, go on.
Jacob, can we run over a little bit if you need to?
I've got a meeting at 12, so
Okay.
I've got until then.
Well, just
Hurry.
I feel like we didn't wrap it up. It annoyed me because we moved on, and I
Sorry,
feel like
it's my fault.
It's cause we. I feel like, to be honest, if I'm real, it's because we haven't seen each other in a long time, and
Yeah.
there just felt like there were so many topics to cover there. So maybe
Should have went for a
it
coffee
just
first.
flowed. We tried. We tried
So what
to go
was your
for coffee
question? How
first.
do you reach
how do
fulfillment?
people achieve fulfillment? Like, can you do it just from? How do you guys like to structure your client journey almost? Like, is it got to be completely solely internal work? Because I know, Jack, you're just sort of like an anti-transformation coach. He calls himself an anti-transformation coach now.
Yeah.
Where he's like, fuck fat loss.
You're
not
VVV holistic at the mo, aren't you?
It's
In
not fuck
terms
fat
of
loss because every single one of my clients wants to lose weight.
yeah.
It's the fitness transformation
Mm.
that I'm against. Like I'm a coach and I've got an eating disorder. Come with me and I'll give you one too. It's that I'm against.
Come
Like,
with me, I'll show you the way.
so just so many courses I've been on and so many people have been round, and it's just like, you should not be coaching people. It's that's that I want to step away from.
And
It's
also that fits your business, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like that fits your clients and who you try to help.
it's about life. It's not about
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness
Yeah.
is a part of it.
Yeah.
It's about the mindset. Like, you know how much I fucking love the mindset stuff. Is pretty much all I fucking talk about.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really work as a business for people who want to lose fat loss, or it didn't until I figured out that it does, because mindset ties into everything. It's the mindset of how you train, how hard you
Yeah,
can train. It's the
yeah,
mindset of why you're
yeah.
eating the way you are. It's the mindset
Yeah.
of why you're not sleeping. It's the mindset of, and that's what we
Yeah,
build
yeah,
it
yeah.
around now,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
meditation. And
Yeah.
it's this controls
Yeah.
all of the things that you do. It's all
Yeah.
encompassing. And what I want to try and filter in more is what Mark was speaking to me about this week, is the 7 areas of life.
Yeah.
And if one of those areas is lacking, then
Yeah.
you don't live a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's effectively what More Than Muscle is
Yeah.
going to be. It's like I was going to
Why
say this
we're mates.
before, actually. Well,
that's why we're mates.
that's what I was going to say this before, actually.
How
but
do you
I
present
didn't
that
end up saying it.
before we move on? How do you present that to people?
Which?
Like so like obviously you're an anti-transformation coach. So what how do you present those
Sorry,
7 areas to
stop you there.
people and get them to work on them, if that makes sense?
Well, we've got 0 seconds left of this podcast,
Yeah.
so maybe let's answer that.
I don't present it because it's
Okay.
overwhelming as fuck.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. That
It's
that
just
was
something
the
you work
thought
on
in
in
my
the
mind.
background.
I was like,
Well, that's effectively, I've been doing that in the background for so long,
Yeah.
where it's just been like, there's no way I can possibly like deliver that in like a, like just, you need to do this.
Mm.
Like without a structure. But you just sort of like feed it in every now and then when you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
something lacking.
Yeah.
Just be like, look, blah, blah, blah. Just like a conversation.
because that
with
was
your
like what
mate
I
who's
was thinking. I was
struggling
like,
with whatever.
because I just kind of like feed mine, and I was thinking
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how are you presenting that? I was thinking,
But that's what-
Oh, no,
like
you
people's
can't.
brains just go.
If-
"Pff."
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
like this is what the More Than
What?
Muscle thing is, because I've been just feeding it in and I feel like it's not enough. I want something where it's like, it's a proper structure. This is
Yeah.
the exact process and the system of how to get to that point where you've got your whole life boxed.
Yeah. And that's how they're
and
going to
then
achieve fulfillment.
yeah.
Like essentially, you've
Yeah.
created the roadmap to achieving the fulfillment.
Yeah.
That's what.
And it's because I realised that the gym didn't do it for me. It was nothing to do with the gym. The gym was just something that I sort of
One of the areas.
fed into. Yeah,
One of the
it
7
is.
areas, isn't it? Health.
I
and
feel as
I
though
fixed
even
me-
though
I
we
fixed
all
my head, and then
coach-
the gym followed. Once I fixed my head, I achieved a decent physique.
I think like we all coach very different people, but however, we as people are all quite similar. So I think like us 3 have got like this like similar models that are utilized in different ways because obviously we coach different people and different kinds of people. But I think like I love how you've set up your own little structure. I think it's going to be great. But I also like love the way you do things because you are kind of like more on the holistic side of things, aren't you? And trying to like look after people's minds and everything. And I would say I'm probably somewhere in between. The 2 of you, because I do love
bodybuilding yogi.
Yeah, I do. I got no intentions to compete or anything like that anymore. I think that idea is definitely done and dusted. Like, because that was like years ago. That's like what I wanted to do. But now I think like my whole business and mindset and everything's transformed too much for me to go back to that. So although I love training like a bodybuilder, I'll probably never actually be one. But yeah, like I think like the people achieve fulfillment probably like maybe it begins at the gym, but I don't think it comes from the gym, and I don't think that it comes from nutrition either. I think it comes from a culmination of improving all of these areas of your life: stress, sleep, digestion, actual enjoyment, like and like building up those habits. I think that that's how it comes about, and I feel like a lot of it does start at the gym. So like people come to you thinking that they want fat loss, but actually what they want is to feel more fulfilled. So to feel more fulfilled, I suppose you could say that it does begin at the gym.
That has to change. Like one of the, if like you could be earning good money, you could be like really inspired by your work, you could be really at peace, like have loads of spare time. But if you fucking hate what you see in the mirror, you feel unfulfilled.
Yeah, 100%. All 7 areas.
All
need to be
7 areas,
balanced.
like
And people say that you can't have it all, but I feel like you can.
Don't need
I
to have
feel
it
like
all.
you can.
I feel like a life of 100% in all 4 areas and like 20% in 3 areas would be shit.
Yeah.
But a life at 80% in all areas would be boss.
Yeah, like it does not have to be perfect. It just has to be
It's not, yeah, I think
improved to a point that you feel more comfortable in your life.
It's not even. I don't even think it's about, for me anyway. Personally, it's not about being perfect in any of the areas.
No.
It's just giving attention to all of the areas.
Yeah.
Like if you don't work on like financial, like if you're just constantly stressed by money
Yeah.
and just ignore the problem, well, you're gonna be massively unfulfilled in life
Yeah,
and
and
unhappy.
it's not going to go away.
And it's
That's
not going to
the
go
main
away.
thing, isn't it? It's
Whereas
not
if
gonna
you give
go
that
away.
a little bit of attention,
Mhm.
you're like, okay, yeah, I've got that sorted. Yeah, I don't feel so stressed about money now.
The same with your body.
Yeah, same with your body.
Just constantly say, oh, gym's a bit much for me right
Yeah.
now. Bit stressed thinking about all this work that I've got to do, and you just continue to
Yeah.
get fatter and fatter and fatter. It's never going away, lads.
And also then that will impact your health, which is another area that will go downhill. Like then you're going to start to suffer
I
with
hate
different
my
health
job.
problems.
I absolutely hate my job, but I go there for 70% of my day, and I'm going to carry on going there for 70% of my day for the rest of my life. And it's like,
Fix that.
fix that then,
I
because
think,
that's
you
a
know-
big bit of your life.
And you know what? I
Like-
know people go, oh my God, it's just the gym, like we said before. But I personally, I've seen so many people start at the gym, start to change like their mindset, start to like address other areas in their lives, get a new job, get a promotion, start their
relationship.
financial.
That's
And I'm
happened,
not
yeah.
saying-
Remember that girl who
I'm
done the
not-
28 days of change?
Yeah.
She jibbed a fella, got a new job, and bought a house.
That's what I
In
mean.
28 days, and I was like, wow.
Fuck me, that's a lot.
Fucking hell.
It's a
I'm
lot
just going
for
to lose a little
28
bit of weight.
days.
Like, but fuck.
But
Sound,
but it's true though, innit? Like
Yeah.
people start like it's not just the gym. It's not just it's the gym, the superficialness of it all. It's everything else that can come with it. And like I've had a client who's done that, worked with me for like 6 months or whatever. I'm like, she split up with a fella, got a new job, decided to move out into London. Like I was like, sound girl, very emotional time, but also like quite a weird emotional happy time because she was like felt like she was stepping into her own. And I was like, this is what happens when you start giving a fuck.
Courage.
Like
The
So
first foundation of more than muscle. Courage.
I can't wait to see this, you know.
The gym gives people courage.
You
You can face
does.
death on the hack squat, lad. You can do anything.
And you know what? It's like what they say in yoga. It is like what they say in yoga. You know, like they say, if you can face discomfort on the mat, you can take that discomfort and utilize it in other areas of your life. And I don't just say it because I'm a yoga teacher, but I really do believe it.
Yeah.
Like the mental capacity it takes to sit in that kind of discomfort that some of the poses bring and things like that. Like you do take away with you and use in other areas of your life. Like, you know, it's the same at the gym, innit? Like the discomfort and the pain of things. Like if you can
Voluntarily keeping yourself
Yeah.
in that pain,
Yeah.
you can handle so much more in life. 100%.
That's a really lovely place to finish.
That was good,
We
that.
wrap it up.
Well done.
Nice one. If you are still here, make sure you leave us a review. 5 stars, not less.
Tag us on your Instagram and on your social
Otherwise,
media and all
don't do
that
it.
kind of stuff.
Well,
Tag us on social media and all that kind of stuff as
yeah,
well.
yeah. Tag us on your stories. Share it with any friends that you think might find value in it. And Lucy, where can everyone find you?
Everybody can find me at lucybrabin.coaching on Instagram. Give me a little follow.
The softest voice ever.
I know.
And then after being like, fuck!
It's the quietest you've been the whole episode.
I've never heard you speak that quietly before.
That's
Never
me
heard you speak
yoga
that quietly
voice.
the whole time I've known you.
That is me yoga voice. It's like, a meditation.
Lucy Brabin.coaching. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure.
It was lovely to be here.